Welcome to, sorry about that. Welcome to the daily installment of the Daily Shift, where I feed your soul to create easily the life that you want in a few minutes a day. Yes, just a few minutes to get the life that you want, 100%, because we're told in the good book that you shall prosper and be in health as your soul, which is your mind, your will, and your emotions prosper. And so I focus on soul prosperity because that's really the essence of how you're going to manifest and how you're already manifesting everything in your life. Well, I won't say everything. I say the 80-20 rule because most of it that is manifesting has been, especially as an adult, under your control. We couldn't control the things when we were babies, when we were children, when we were growing up, when our personalities were being solidified. But this is now as an adult, we can take our power back. And I say 80-20. Now there is this belief system that I encourage you to stop believing. You can do what you want, you're grown. But I would encourage you to start to really audit some of the things that you hear around manifestation. They'll say, well, you signed up for this. No, you didn't. You didn't sign up to be abused. You didn't sign up to be essayed. You didn't sign up to learn lessons through, diseases and dis-ease. No, you didn't. You didn't. I call it the 80-20 rule because adults, we have free will. And the free will of other people have caused things to happen to us. And because of that has also, things that we were observing as children and as young adults and babies, shaped what we believe. We're told in the good book that out of the abundance of the heart, your mouth will speak. And when your mouth speaks out of the abundance of that, it's because this is your heart is your manufacturing center, which is what we talked about in week. This is week 5 or 6. I forget where we're at. Am I supposed to be doing the I am center today? Yes, I was going to talk about the fifth element, and today's not about the fifth element, which is the way you speak. It's about your I am center. Yes. I was like, wait. I was ahead of myself. We are never going to go any farther than how we see ourselves or the sense of self. And so if you've been following this series, this is part number 5. That's right. I'm doing the fourth one. Part number 5 of how to manifest things easier. You think I will write things down. I don't. I just kind of like go with the flow. So if you love to take notes, you love to journal, you can just relax for a few minutes. And then I have a form that you can fill out, and you will get the Google form, and you will be able to get the notes and journals because I love to create journals. Journaling is so good for you in so many different ways, and I will talk about that in the future. But for those of you who already know the power of journaling, then I give you some journal prompts around what I'm going to say today. So when people say that you signed up for this stuff, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. I challenge that because why would you sign up for those things? There's also this belief system that I would encourage you to dump. It says that the best way to learn is to experience through the school of hard knocks. No, it's not. The best way for you to learn is through one, revelation knowledge, which is like those aha moments, like all of a sudden you get it. Secondly, is through the wisdom of others, because they've already gone through the pit. They've already have gone through things, and then they can, mentor you and give you wisdom and teach you about some of the pitfalls to look out for. And so this is why so many people are attracted to mindset, but then they still hold on to, especially in the spiritual community, to these erroneous belief systems. And these erroneous belief systems are dangerous to you because they are slowing you down. They're creating blockages. They're putting up defenses because you do not understand that some of the things that you have been led to believe are actually not true. They don't have to be true for you. Maybe they were true for you up to this point, but it doesn't have to be true for you now. So this is the last pillar. And next week I would talk about the fifth element, which is not love. I love that movie. so good. Love is the greatest motivator. But the fifth element will be around the integrity of your own words. So if you're just popping in, then this is the fifth video, but it's the fourth pillar of what I say, the four pillars of manifestation, which is your subconscious, your conscious, your heart space, and what we're talking about today, your I am center or your sense of self, right? How you see yourself, how you the sense and how you feel about yourself. In the first week, I did kind of the overall, and then for the last 4 weeks, I've been breaking each pillar down a little bit more, so that way I can include some notes for you and for some journaling. So let's just go over what I just said. Your belief system is driving things for you, and you might have a belief system that is not true, such as you signed up for this. You didn't sign up to be abused or any of that stuff. No, you didn't. People had choices to make, and they made those choices. But this is where you take your power back. You might also believe that you have to learn the hard way. That's the best way to learn. As long as you believe that, this is how it works. As whatever it is that you believe, you will magnetize yourself to, because it's not thoughts. Thoughts don't become things. Thoughts internalized materialize. Let me say that again. That's another lie that you believe. Another myth. Thoughts become things. No, they don't. How do I know that? Because the good book says that, first of all, you know from experience, right? Sometimes the thoughts come in from an internal source or external source influence, right? Sometimes people think that they're under psychic attack. Yes, you can be. Or you're just actually picking up other people's transmissions, because words have power. Words are containers of power. They are transmuting death or life. Every single word. And it's not death or life, it's idle, which just means now it's got no power, which is in the death category. So either it's going to speak life into you, empower you, bring you up, sometimes bring you some correction, right? We need that correction because, no one's 100%. And so if you're going in the wrong way and you want to be at the right place at the right time with the right people, doing the right things in the right order, then correction will come. But think about it, it's not a pop out. It's like, oh, you're going the wrong way. That's what repentance means. Stop, turn around, and change your thinking. What is that saying? Change the mindset. Oh, my EA says she thinks I'm breaking up. I'm just going to change excuse my finger, my other internet. One moment, please. Why switch servers? One moment, hold the line. Hopefully this is better. Everything's live. All right. Now, where was I? Now I can't remember what I was saying. All right, Spirit. That's what happens when I always do things like I go with the flow. It's a lot better. Okay, great. Thank you. If you remember what I was saying last, let me know in the chat. Thank you so much. So I was going through this is the fourth pillar. There's the I am center, right? So we have these sayings of these belief systems that are just not true. They're not true. It's important because when I talked about the heart space last week, and if you haven't seen that, go ahead and you look for part 4 of Manifesting Things Easier. The heart is the manufacturing center. And every time your heart pumps, it goes boom, boom, there's a signal that is being sent out. Now, secular scientists don't know what that is, but the good book tells us. It is your belief system. It's your limitations. It says that's why they tell us to guard our hearts with all diligence, because out of it are the issues, the boundaries, the limitations of life. So whatever your limitation is, you're sending out that signal, right? So if you believe, going back to the heart knocks, right? If you believe that the only way that you can learn is through the school of hard knocks and that things need to be hard, your subconscious says, oh, is this what we're doing? It starts to speak to your heart space. Your heart's like, well, that's what we believe. The I am center saying, oh, well, I think that's true. I need to learn the hard way. It's better that way. So you will magnetize yourself to those things that make you right. And what does that do? That ends up becoming a vicious loop of you believing an erroneous belief system. You get magnetized to those things that have you experience that thing. And then you say, see, I was right. Oh, thoughts. Thank you, Spirit. Thoughts don't become things. That's not true. Thoughts internalize, materialize. The things that get into your heart space materialize. Why? Again, because your heart is your manufacturing center and is sending out these signals to everyone around you. So once you start, that's why this concept of acting as if works. Because you're forcing yourself to self-identify, right? We're talking about identity today. Self-identify yourself as something different, as someone different. As different of how you are in this second, forcing the issue. The acting as if works for some people because their personality is already very playful, very imaginative. But if you are a critical thinker, very left brain, very analytical, you might find a little difficulty with that. I'm not speaking that over you or saying you have to agree with me, but let's just take it because that's your personality. Your gift is to see the pitfalls. That's your gift. You save us time, you save us money, you save us energy. I'm so grateful for the critical thinkers in my life because, oh, you saved me in so many different ways. So maybe the acting as if might feel difficult because you might feel like a fraud or imposter. So you need to try another kind of manifestation technique. When you believe that thoughts internalize, that thoughts become things, then now you're again giving away your power. And the good book tells us, right, that you to capture every thought, like make it obedient to Christ, which is everything that is good and pure and perfect, that's edifying, that's building you up, that's going to, lead you to health and happiness and wholeness and joy and wealth and abundance. If thoughts become things, then we wouldn't have all this juicy information around mindset. Because if thoughts become things, then that's all you need to know, and that's all the mindset you would need. But that's not true. It's the thoughts internalize, they materialize, because when they get internalized, they go into your manufacturing center, which is your heart space. You are never going to go any further than how you see yourself, which is why for some people, the acting as if model works, because they start to see themselves differently. What can you do to see yourself differently? I talked about this, and this has been like, I started talking about this, as far as I know, I was first in my circles. After I started talking about this, recently, the last few days, people started to say the same thing, which is consistency. You don't need that much. You just have to be consistent in one small thing. It is a compound effect. Instead of trying to change everything, because maybe you do have a lot of areas that you're like, wow, my life is just kind of jacked up and I need all of it changed. Pick one thing. See if you can discern what is the one thing that you can change. And that will give you the domino effect. This is why for the society, which is of Sacred Alchemists, which is my group, we have created what I call a bunch of alchemy assets. One of them are the alchemy accountability bots, and one's for your body and the other one is for money and clients and career. The reason is because that is the one simple thing to start to reprogram yourself, to start to embody easily who you say you are and who you want to be. And the problem with a lot of the things that we study and the mindset things is that it's simple. And I love that it's simple because it levels the playing field. The other side of that is that because it's simple, people don't do it. We're all really busy and we can forget to do them because, again, we're buying into the lie that it has to be hard, that you have to hustle for it, that you have to work hard for it. No, the working hard is the belief system. The working hard is in you saying. The working hard is in you really creating a new foundation of who you say you are. There are a lot of different methods to get there. Scripting. The reason scripting works, you might have heard of it, right? Write 33 things, write it 33 times for 3 days, 55 times for 5 days, 100 times for 10 days. But one of the reasons it works is because it's a form of self-hypnosis. It is particularly powerful when you do it in cursive because it bypasses the conscious. Did you know that? So when you're doing your scripting, do it in cursive. You might think, well, I'm younger and I was not taught how to write in cursive. Get some things from the dollar store and start to learn to write in cursive. It's going to help you to reprogram yourself easier. That's one thing. Self-hypnosis, guided meditations, okay. Affirmations when they're created properly. If you, like, one of my things is like I'm a fit tone size 7'8". I've already been a size 7'8". I used to be a size like 5'6", and I look like a bobblehead. It was too thin for me. Other people said I looked great, but when I look back at my photos, I look like a crackhead. So I'm not. So 7'8", it's easier for me to maintain and to get to. Now, it's easy for me to say that because I've already experienced that. But if you've never been a certain size, then what you can say is like every day I'm getting healthier and healthier, thinner and thinner, more fit than I was, last week. That's what they call a bridge. See, that you can believe. You need to say things that where you're at. And that's another thing that people don't tell you is that, they want you to believe all these things. And then when you get convinced that that's the way it's supposed to be and you don't manifest that, then they say it's your fault. Yes and no. It is happening when you're saying it. But some things need the gift and the process of time to be reversed because you have been believing a lie for such a long time that it's going to take a while for it to be reversed. But if you understand that your words, especially the words that you say about yourself, particularly out loud, because your inner ear picks it up and then feeds it into this loop of manifestation within you, that's how you quantum jump. You need to say it. But what are you saying about yourself? What are you answering to? What are you self-identifying with? Who do you say you are? That's what you answer to. But if you've been called something else for a long period of time, then it's not going to take you, years to undo it. But give yourself 90 days. If you go to the doctor and they diagnose you with something, they give you medicine and what do they tell you most of the time? Take this for 60 to 90 days, every single day, maybe sometimes 2 and 3 times a day. And then we'll figure out after 90 days if it's working. Why don't you give yourself the same courtesy? Then when you're starting to break down and to dissolve the lies and put in this new belief system, this new self-identity, this new, because you can perceive who you're really supposed to be, and you are already that thing. That future self is calling to you. Then why not give yourself the same integrity, the same gift of time? the same focus, the same kind of tenacity. Because if you've ever taken medicine, and everyone's pretty much has had the flu or something, right? And they said you need to take this every 6 hours, every 10 hours, every 12 hours. You were faithful in that. And when you follow the recommendation, you got better. You rested because that was part of the prescription. You ate better. Maybe you fasted. Maybe you had some bone broth. You took extra vitamins. You did what you needed to do to get yourself back to health. What are you willing to do every single day? Just pick one thing. It doesn't have to be long. It can be 10 minutes of your complete focus. This is an attention economy. What are you giving your attention to? What are you, no, that's why in the States we call it paying attention. What are you paying attention, your attention to? And what is the one thing that you can do every single day? I know you want really fast results. I'm a task animal. I know how to get fast results for myself. And I know how to get fast results for my clients, especially when they do the one-on-one, because we kind of go deep diving into the personality gift cluster. But I have a lot of things. Even this playlist, this podcast, if you look for at the playlist for it, the daily shift, I have so much information. And this is why, and also like things that you can do that give you results. One of the things that I was doing, and I'm going to go back to doing that, is the EFTs, the emotional freedom technique, also known as tapping. The reason it works so well and so fast is because it's activating all the pillars. It is the subconscious, like I said, and if you look at week 2, part 2 of this series, it doesn't like hard. It likes easy. It likes gentle, neutrality. And when you go into that gentleness of like an EFT or like a guided meditation or self-hypnosis, it likes, again, gentle. It lowers your internal walls and it receives the suggestions. What can you do for yourself? Maybe there's just, I have things about losing weight, you know, and clients and career. Maybe you can grab one of those videos and do that every single day. You put your alarm and you do it. That's your prescription. You're never going to go any farther than how you see yourself. You don't. That's your set point. Your subconscious is your partner, and it'll do the automatic driving for you. But if you want to change your life, that is the main secret. And they tell you about that all the time, but they make it difficult for you to do. And then they chastise you of like, oh, well, you have to get into it. You have to feel it. If you're not feeling it, it's not going to happen. No, there's, you know, I love human design. And what I recognize in that feeling, right, that's the feminine energy. I actually manifest faster in my masculine. And in human design, for those of you who don't know what that is, think of it like the Enneagram on steroids, or DISC, or Briggs-Myers, right? Any of those personality tests, it's that on steroids for yourself. It's really amazing. And so when I was doing a deeper dive on myself and saw that, it brought me so much relief and clarity, like, oh yeah, that's true. I do manifest in my masculine, which is, but it's more passive for me, passive masculine, which means I have to make like a list, like bullet point it. And that's how I manifest. I don't manifest really for the most part. They're like, well, everybody manifests that way. No, they don't. And I appreciate the, like all things, right? So then they go into the deep dive. There was this push of going back into your feminine energy, which is what we needed, that because we were so far removed from it and only our masculine for women. And now, you know, we needed that balance. But then they went to the extreme. Not everyone operates and manifests fully out of the feminine energy, which means to going with the flow and not needing like some structure, right? That's all that means. For me, I need a little bit of structure. If you want more on that, go ahead and send in hashtag human design below, and I would love to connect with you and we can have a chat around that. But again, it's a lie that I believed. When I stopped manifesting in my masculine energy, everything else started to slow down because I bought into the lie that I needed to really be deep in my feelings for it. No, I just had to make a decision, and my feelings followed. It is a soul prosperity. Your mind will influence your will, which will influence your emotions. So you don't have to do it the hard way. This isn't meant to be hard. It's meant to be simple so that you can be consistent, so that you can have that compound effect. What is the one thing you can do to solidify your own self-identity? Because you already know you were made for greatness. You're made on purpose for a purpose. If you need help with that, join us next week. I'm having a masterclass right now for the next 24 hours. The tickets for that will be 11-11. Yes, it's going to be 55-55, but for the next 24 hours, it will be 11-11. You can go ahead and grab your ticket below. And I have a power group in Telegram. I've already been releasing the bonuses over there. So you're going to have bonuses. When you have a paid ticket, you're going to get the replays. Even if you got complimentary seat, because for a while I did complimentary seats and I had a certain number and I hit it. Yay! If you have a complimentary seat, you'll still have all the bonuses, but you won't have access to the replay. But if you want the replay, even for those who got the complimentary seat, the next 24 hours, it's only 11-11. And then it's going to go to 22-22, then 33-33, then 44-44, then it'll be 55-55. So don't wait. Don't wait and have FOMO. And it's only 11-11. And it's like these mini master classes on steroids. I have so many things that I've been preparing you with in order for you to receive what you want. And next week's masterclass is around activating your divine abundance around the 4 pillars of life. I like pillars, right? We have like pillars. And you're going to get everything, a bunch of resources as well. And you'll have access to me for a little while as well, so for additional complimentary coaching around that particular masterclass. So if that's of interest to you, if you want more, if you want assistance in really manifesting who you know that you are, and you want to be around like-minded individuals, and I invite you to grab your seat, especially since it's only 11-11 for the next 24 hours. So these are the 4 pillars of manifestation: your subconscious, your conscious, your heart space, and your I am center. Who you say you are and your sense of self, how you see yourself. And once you start seeing yourself, that's how healthy boundaries happen. That's part of it. When you see yourself a certain way, it's easier to say yes to the things you have to say yes to and no to the things you have to say no to. It's all around how you see yourself. And you're a badass. I see you. You're a badass. So until next time, which will be very, very soon, may God's richest and best be yours. I will be back tomorrow around this time, 12:15 p.m. CST, for another daily shift. Have a great rest of your day. Bye now.